Oh yeah. Welcome to the build series. Today we are building V2 of the Benford inspired mini dump truck. So first thing is we're going to put these bearings in here. When you print these, you will have a little join mark there. Don't know if you can see that. But yeah, that has to go. Just to make the bearing a bit easier to fit. I mean, they do push in anyway, quite nicely. So like I said, these should just push in quite nicely by hand. If they're a bit tight, you can grind them out a bit more. That one is tight. Just a case of rubbing that around. I mean, it might be the paint, because I've painted these obviously. I did prep and paint them. I've not done a wonderful job, but it's a construction machine. Yeah, there we go. That slots in lovely. Beautiful. So the same for this one. I mean, you could pre-fit all these before you paint. So all you need to do then is just take a bit of paint off. But yeah, that's them bits done. So the next step will be to fasten these. That slides in quite nicely. You might have to push a little bit hard. Yeah, that fitted lovely. So what I do now, I've got this screw pack. So which one we're using? Yeah, we'll use the 1.4 by 4 mil. Two of those. I don't tend to use that because you need to feel the bite. Once you've got the bite, that's it, job done. What that does then, look how scratched that is already. That will screw onto there. 1.5 by 5. That's the one we're gonna go for. Not going to tighten that up tight. We'll get a few in. I mean, you could stick some glue underneath as well if you want to. I don't see the need. It's not pushing or pulling on the actual tilting mechanism against the bucket. The bucket just goes with it. So just nip them up. Then we'll turn it over and we'll take a look. I've not bothered tidying up the inside of the bucket. I mean, it's entirely up to you what you want to do. I mean, it's going to get dirty anyway, so that's on. This bit is there for your mud flap to fasten to. So what we're going to do, we're going to glue that. This is just 3D printing super glue. I can't imagine there's much difference between this and the other super glue really. Put a bit on these. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll hold that down. Try and do it in a way that you can see. Shouldn't take too long. I mean, if you wanted to, you could put a weight on there. Look at that. Took already. You can use that activator. I've never used that. But yeah, that section is now ready. If you wanted to put this together before you put the bearings in and then spray it all as one unit to seal these up a little bit, yeah, that would work. So the next section we're going to work on is the front chassis. Now, on a quick note, my original intention was to put fixed shafts on the unit. I have drive shafts running through. I will do that build one day, but that was my original intention. But buying these fixed shafts separately is quite challenging. So the next step will be fashioning these to this section. So what we'll do is we'll go with the 1.5s by 4. Okay, so the longer one goes on the inside. And it's just a case of getting them started. Don't need to nip them up just yet. So they're still a little bit loose because I don't have to fit over there and get clamped. Remember, long ones on the inside, short ones on the outside. So just to clarify, 1.5 by 4 is what these are. So this fits, this is the top, and you've got your two welds at the bottom there. Fits that way, so that's flat to the ground. And that's pretty much how that fits. Like that. Again, you could put this together, I suppose, as one unit. It's entirely up to you. In order to bolt this together, I have this spec. Hex socket cap head screws assortment kit. 2.5mm of various sizes. And the one we're going to need, I believe, 12mm. So we've got these through. What we're going to do is we're going to put some super glue on there. I'll tell you why. Because once I accidentally lifted this up with the bucket. That pulls on the actuator, which then, because of the way this is printed, it split it across there. Let's just put some glue on there, and if I am stupid enough to do that again, it'll hold. At the end of the day, it's 3D printed unit, and there are going to be weak spots, unfortunately. So that's glued. Let's get this tightened up. So on this section, we're going to use the M1.5 by 6. Just nip them up nicely. So that section's complete. That will fit in there. For that one, we're going to need the 16. And we won't tighten this all the way up because we still need some play to get this over the bearing. Slip that over. Right, so we've got this all on now. We can nip this up. Not too tight, just nip it. I can nip this one up. Again, don't need to be too tight. And then you can use nut lock if you want. lubricant, and that will do what it's supposed to do. So now we've got the front axles, and I guess we're going to have to do some soldering. These are the motors we're using. We're using 4 of them. I'll show you. Everything fits perfectly. There's a front section that hides that seam. But yeah, let's shove these in. You can use thread lock. Entirely up to you. Tight. 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 So yeah, here we are. Stage 1 complete. Okay, so I've prepped these wires. These are going to be my Y. So what I'll do is we'll tin the ends first. That's them done. Yeah, so we use the length of wire around about 10 inches. I mean, we probably only need it to be about 5-6 inches long in the ends, but 10 inches is plenty to keep us going. We'll strip these ends off. We'll give these a tin. I think that's the technical term. Don't quote me on it though. Can we do 2 at once? Brilliant. Right, what I'm going to do, this might not work, but we'll try. Because this stuff It's enough to go over there, but at some point we're going to have two together. It's a little bit tight, so I think if we put this on and the thicker stuff, I'm trying to keep on the camera. You know, when you're doing stuff, you forget that you're filming. So I'm going to put these in here. There, that's one on. So that's then done. So there's your Y. This will go to the ECU. These will go to the motors. We'll put these on first. I think we're about out of gas. There we go. Beautiful. Right. Let's cut these and then I'll explain. So here's the motors. They're N-gauge. Very torquey. Very torquey. These are 70 RPM. What we'll do is, before we put them in, we'll fill that with the light grease that I've got. But we'll go positive, negative to this one. That's positive and negative, that's correct. And the other one will go positive on the back, negative on the red. And hopefully they'll go in the right direction. Now, I can't strip with these because with that being a short length, it's going to pull the whole sheathing off. So I'm going to have to do it this way. So, positive, negative on this motor. That was one motor done. Okay. Moment of truth. That's correct. They're both going that way. So what we're going to do now is we've got these wires set in. We've got the motor greased. Everything works. We've tried it on here. We're going to put this on. So how do we fasten this one? We use this set. 1, 2, 3, 4 are 8mm. M2 by 8. This one is M2 by 10. The back two here are M2 by 5. That's an 8mm. So it's just a case of nipping it up, but don't overdo it. On this seam here, I've designed a cover. I've not printed it off for some reason, but you will see that in a later video. We'll be gluing that on. Oh, and then there was light. Now, did I design these so washers would fit? Don't know. Let's have a look. Yes. If you're into building stuff, then these sets will come in handy. Why are you not going in? You are. Yeah, these screw sets will come in handy for stuff. That's for sure. Oh yeah. At the moment I'm waiting for a set of tyres, and I'm also waiting for the linear actuator. Now this bit that I showed you, now this section, what we do is we put some heat shrink through there, shrink it onto there, end it just there, and then we'll put individual heat shrink on these wires and also the linear actuator wires, and then that's what we end up looking like. Kind of looks like a drive shaft, but it doesn't really. But look, it's a way of routing the wires and it looks neater. The actuator wires come down there and all 3 wires are covered in a sheath. Kind of makes them look a bit like hydraulic wires. But yeah, we'll go over all that on the next video, because on the next video we're building this back end.